Hey, I'm Joe DeGanzik, and this is Lighting Answers and our continuing coverage of CES 2016. They don't want it to be called the Consumer Electronics Show anymore, so just CES. Anyways, something doesn't look quite right. Hey Siri, can you fix the lights? Oh, that's right, that's not a command. I don't even trust her to get this damn thing right anyways. There we go. All right. HomeKit. I talked that we would, told you that we would actually do a HomeKit dedicated episode. There were a number of announcements. And yeah, that's about it. No, not really. When HomeKit was announced, I was all over this thing, right? I talked about this at length. I said last year HomeKit is going to be like the end-all be-all cool thing. And, you know, it's okay. HomeKit is largely based around voice. It's based around Siri. It's based on connecting all of your devices together in a secure, reliable fashion. Is it reliable? Mostly. Is it easy to use? Mostly. Has Apple really pushed it? No. So is it kind of annoying? Well, yes. And that's coming from kind of an Apple fanboy who has products left and right. HomeKit is Apple's technology for bringing all these devices together. And they're really trying. They've done a good job. HomeKit is not something brand new. They didn't invent a whole new protocol. They didn't invent something like Insteon or Z-Wave or Zigbee. It uses Wi-Fi and or Bluetooth. We're going to run through these pretty quickly because you'll see that they're very similar and everyone and their mother seems to have one. And it's basically choose the right device that you like at the right price point and they'll connect to HomeKit. Kwikset, the ever-present lock company, has introduced Premis, a new HomeKit-enabled door lock. It's a smart lock. It's got a keypad on the front, and it's got the twist thing on the back. And yes, you can't just keep your existing key. You've got to replace it, of course. If you've got a Kwikset key already, most likely you can use their fancy rekey technology to make that process simpler. Otherwise, you just have to replace your whole lock and get a new key. That comes with it. Is it pretty cool? Sure. No pricing announced, and it'll be available sometime this year. You can talk to Siri and have it run scenes that could include like a goodnight scene that turns all your lights off, locks the doors, closes the blinds. I was going to say waters the grass, but that doesn't make any sense. Elgato has added to their Eve lineup of HomeKit compatible devices with a smart energy monitor and plug-in device controller, along with a light switch that also has a little LED in the center, and it has its own faceplate, so you don't need like your existing trim plates. So you're starting to see these devices do multiple things at once, and obviously with HomeKit, they're all made smart and intelligent so that they can talk to each other. You can set these things to respond to scenes. They can respond to triggers and behaviors and whatnot, and sensors and things like that. So that's their additional products that are coming out of Elgato for 2016. iHome has updated their existing SmartPlug that was already compatible with HomeKit with energy monitoring. Wow, is there an echo in this video? Anyways, it also has a dedicated remote control, and it's still apparently going to be $40, which is on the low end of the price range for HomeKit compatible stuff in general. So still a good buy if you want to actually get into just trying out HomeKit. You can probably get one or two of these, and it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. In 2016, iDevices is launching their own smart outlet, a wall switch dimmer, and a connected socket, which also includes a nightlight. Now, of course, the connected socket is cool, but again, it's a larger, device that you got to screw into an existing socket and then screw your light bulb into that. So if space is a problem in your fixture, your lamp, what have you, it might not be for you. All these are HomeKit compatible. The possibilities are endless. No pricing announced. Next up in this incredibly exciting HomeKit episode where I literally read the news to you, Grid Connect has already had their smart outlet out there, which is HomeKit-enabled. Now they're adding a temperature and humidity sensor, which can talk to HomeKit-compatible thermostats. This could be actually very helpful because, as you know, thermostats are not always placed in the ideal location where you actually want to measure things like humidity and temperature. Perhaps you want to balance things across your house. Well, now you can. Honeywell launches the HomeKit version of the Lyric thermostat. You know, the round one, kind of a Nest copycat. Sorry, Honeywell. They suit each other. But anyways, $249, you can pre-order it now, and pretty much it's exactly the same, except you can control it with Siri. Speaking of thermostats and fans, that kind of goes together, doesn't it? So Hunter launched 2 HomeKit-enabled fans. Yes, and they're cheaper than those big-ass fans that we talked about with the sort of half-assed prices. I just made that up. That was pretty good. Anyways, HomeKit and Hunter together at last. What do they cost? $329 and $379, one in a white finish, the other in kind of a nickel-plated and wood finish. Of course, with HomeKit, you could turn the fan on and off. You could change the speed. You could have it react to things like thermostats and temperatures and lions and tigers and Siri commands. Oh my. First Alert, the company that usually makes things like smoke detectors, is now launching other stuff, and they're all HomeKit enabled. They're launching the OneLink Wi-Fi Safe, an environment, temperature and humidity and kind of environmental quality sensor, and a thermostat. All HomeKit enabled, all launching in 2016 with no pricing. Now, what does that mean? How do you sum up HomeKit? How do you sum up First Alert's products? Well, it means that if someone, now again, the Safe is Wi-Fi and HomeKit enabled, and it's got a accelerometer, which, if someone moves it, you could be alerted. So basically, if someone breaks into your house and, you're not there, you're on vacation, and they take your stuff, they take your safe, and then they decide to set your place on fire as they're leaving, you will get an alert that someone stole your safe and that your house is in the process of being burned down, but at least your thermostat and your air conditioning will turn off automatically. All right, that's the HomeKit news. HomeKit is pretty cool. We think it's going to get cooler in 2016. I hope that Apple really pushes this. We're waiting on Apple to really put this forward. Our next episode coming up, all about lighting and smart bulbs coming at you from the latest and greatest at CES in Las Vegas. If you haven't subscribed to the Lighting Answers channel, please do so. We cover lighting, obviously, lighting projects, lighting design, tying it all together with home automation and projects. I'm Joe DeGanzik for Lighting Answers. See you next time.